So, back up. We solved. You have to solve for y here. Get y by itself. So we minus the x's. By the way, I forgot to record, so I'm backtracking. So we got y by itself. First you minus the x. Then you have to divide by 3. But you have to remember 2 things. When you divide by negative, you have to flip the inequality. The other thing is, this negative 3 goes with both of those. So negative 6 divided by negative 3 is 2. And x over negative divided by negative is going to be positive. X over 3 doesn't divide immediately. So our equation, y greater than or equal to 2 plus x over 3. And what did we choose for our x's, Emma? Things that are divisible by 3. If you have a fraction, you want to pick things that are divisible by 3. So I plug in my x values and I got the y values. Now what's the next step? We have to plot those points and connect them. And don't forget, you have to flip your inequality when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, right? So what do we have? 0, 2. 0, right and left, I go 0 and then 2 up. I have 3, 3. 3 over, 3 up. And then I have negative 3, 1. Negative 3 and 1 up. And now we have to connect those points. But remember, it's an inequality. Do you remember what to do? Yesterday we talked about solid line, dashed line. What's the difference? Sean, what's the difference? Say that again? Well, how do you know what if you should make a solid line or a dashed line?
You look at the thing, if it's like the greater arrow with the line under it, it's a dash.
Solid. If it's got the equal sign underneath, it's a solid line. And if it's just greater than or just less than, then it will be a dashed line. Right. So what should this one be again? Solid. This one's going to be a solid line. And when you make your line, please don't just go between your dots. I want it to go from one side of the graph all the way to the other. Watch. All the way to the end. Put arrows at the ends. What do the arrows mean?
It goes on.
Yep, it goes on forever and ever and ever. And then, remember the last thing we have to do is the shading. So, you want to pick a point that's not on your line. What's an easy one to use?
0,
0, 0. So, I like to use 0, 0. I put a dot right there so I can remember. And I use 0, 0. And I plug 0, 0 in. X is 0, Y is 0. And we want to know now, is that correct? What is 0 over 3?
3.
2 plus 0?
0.
So 2, is that?
No.
Is 0 greater than 2?
No.
No. So it doesn't work. Now, remember at this point, if it works, you shade the side that the point is on. And if it doesn't work, then you're going to shade the opposite side. So, did this work?
No.
No, it doesn't work. So which side do I shade, top or bottom? Top. So I'm going to shade this part up here. Oh, you can color it really nice with colored pencils. Pretend that you're in kindergarten with Mrs. M. Did Mrs. M teach kindergarten when you were over there?
No, Mr. Wolf did.
Oh, Mr. Wolf was my student. Love Mr. Wolf. This is the librarian now. What's her name? Well, she's not the librarian this year. She was last year.
At the elementary?
Yes.
I have no idea.
It was Miss Gaveski. Benson. Yes, Mrs. Benson was my student.
Who is that?
Who else over there was my student? Mrs. Finger was my student. Yeah, she took a year. Who? Mrs. Gensler was my student when I first started teaching.
I forgot.
Oh, the good old days. Anyway, does that make sense? Now, anybody with questions on this one? I have one more thing to show you. When you do today's assignment, which this is it right here, when you do it, one of the lines is going to be like this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. One of the lines is going to go right through 0, 0. Well, remember, that's when you pick your point, it can't be on the line. It's got to either be on one side of the line or the other. So if it goes through 0, 0, you know when you tell me you have troubles understanding, it's because you're not watching. So if it goes through 0, 0, you have to pick something else. And you can pick whatever you want, but I would make it be convenient. If you want to pick 5, 5, you could pick 5, 5, but that's not very convenient. Here's what I like to pick, like something with a 1 and a 0. So X is 1, Y is 0. Sometimes I write down the coordinates just so I can make sure I remember and plug them in right. So at this point, X is 1, Y is 0. I could pick that one. I could pick this one. X is 0 and Y is 1. And then I make the dots so I can remember which side I picked, right? So if it goes through 0, 0, you're going to have to pick something else and plug that in and see if it works. Same rule though, if you plug it in and it works, you shade this side. If you plug it in and it doesn't work, then you're going to shade the opposite side, right? Oh, I was going to tell you about today's assignment. Some people were a little bit confused and did not finish. So it's going to be a completion grade. You get 5 points for each one you complete. By the end of the hour, can you just get it in the basket? It's out of 15 points. And then we're going to work on this. And I'll be waiting in my office. Free algebra help. Free algebra help. Lorana's going to give you some graph paper. That's all right. So ask her for 2 when she gets to you, okay? It doesn't matter as long as your name's on both.
I'm supposed to text you back.